Who am I? I am a storyteller. I am a creator of character and worlds. How did I become this? This is a story that I'd be happy to tell. As a kid, I heard the phrase, the good guy always wins, while watching an episode of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. After the show ended, I asked myself, but what if the bad guy won? In that instance, I knew I wanted to create a supervillain that did just that, always won. As I got older, I knew one day I wanted this character to have his own universe, his own heroes to fight, as I was making scenarios of him fighting already established, copyrighted characters. How do I take this from idea to reality? I started looking into famous filmmakers and how they started in film, and discovered one thing they all had in common. They all got into film through networking. I really wasn't the person to just start a conversation with a random stranger. For a time, I thought that I wouldn't be able to bring my characters to life with the small circle of friends and my mother who preferred that I had a more practical job. I just wouldn't have the chance to network with someone in the industry. When it was time for me to start looking for colleges, I had to make a compromise with my mother to take graphic design. Didn't really go as well, considering that my art really wasn't that great. It was the stories that I made that made them great. Of course, things didn't quite work out at the school, and I felt that was it. I was going into the workforce, working at McDonald's. I lost hope, didn't think that I would ever be able to live my dream, until another chance arose. I was working at the United States Postal Service at the time. I discovered a job posting in Orlando. I figured I make good money working at the post office. I'll just transfer there, work in Orlando for a year or so, and I'll be able to afford to go to the school, no problem. School of choice, of course, Full Sail University. But alas, disaster struck for a second time. Because I wasn't full-time, I couldn't transfer, so I basically had to quit, move, and reapply for the position. Problem was, 48 hours later, I moved and the job was gone. I had to get another low-paying job. However, this time, I was able to score a job at Universal theme park, that is. However, 5 years went by, no moving up was happening, and I was starting to really hate my job. I got to the point where I was about to give up everything, call it quits. I was making plans to head back to Virginia at the end of 2019. Just so much easier. I could probably get a better job, probably not one that would have made me any happier. Shortly after deciding this, I was receiving phone calls from Full Sail. I decided to answer the call after dodging them, believing I wouldn't be able to attend anyway. The lady on the phone, however, worked with me to figure out how I can continue this dream. And thanks to her, I didn't have to go back home to Virginia. In 2020, I became a film student at Full Sail University, meeting others who wanted to learn the craft and hopefully being able to network with people who are already doing this for a living. Where do I hope to go from here? As I mentioned in the beginning, I hope to share my stories with the world. Maybe direct a movie or two of one of my stories. That's my end goal. This is the one thing I aim for. Share my stories with the world.